Hey friends, welcome back to Mustard Seed Homesteading. My name is Megan, and if you're new here, I'm so glad you stopped by because this is my weekly backyard garden tour and harvest where I share everything that's going on with the garden while we do some harvesting. Now, before we get started, I do want to let you know that I just posted my onion harvest video last week from harvesting the green stalks as well as the 2 wood beds. And if you're interested in seeing the results of that, I will leave that in the description below. We definitely need to get started because it is evening time, and I don't know about you friends, but it has been incredibly hot here still. I don't really do a lot of work during the day. I will come out here and do some checking, maybe a little bit of cleaning if I can deal with the heat, but for the most part, I'm out here in the evening time, so we need to get started. Starting from this side of the garden, I am just really liking how everything is growing. I think the cherry tomato trellis is doing really good. Compared to last year, I think it is much better in the larger bags. And we do have some cherry tomatoes to pick, but I did want to give you an update on some of the cantaloupe as well as the watermelon and pumpkins. Now, I have shared before that some of my pumpkins here had a lot of vine borer issues. So I did go ahead and replanted some seed. You can see the starts right here, as well as I put 2 over here, and these are the Cinderella pumpkins. Now, I did leave the old ones in there because I don't know, I want to see if maybe, I don't know if you can see some of the new growth from the old one right there, but I'm actually just leaving the old one in there to see what will happen. Nothing might happen, but I'll never know unless I just leave it and observe it. But I did put 2 new ones, and some of my pumpkins here are doing pretty good. So I'm hoping that we will get some pumpkins come fall. I did want to quickly show you this little baby watermelon. So this is the orange glow watermelon, and I do see other little baby ones. There's one right here, and even some of the other watermelon plants that I have over there, I saw little buds, but so far it's looking pretty good, and I'm hoping we can at least get a couple of watermelons. That would be so nice. And there's another one right here. They're super tiny but very cute. And I think growing the watermelon, the pumpkins, and the cantaloupe in these larger bags are doing really good with these trellises that I have. And so far so good. I've been replanting some squash and they've been growing quite a bit. I think the ones that I was hoping to keep in there for another green one, as well as another yellow squash, is not going to make it. I'll have to pull those out at some point, but I'm hoping we can get some more squash. Here's what I wanted to show you though. Friends, look at this cantaloupe. This is gorgeous, and when I tell you this is a really large cantaloupe, it's big, and I was not going to harvest this without all of you. And there's another little baby cantaloupe right there. All right, so look at how big this is. It is so beautiful. I am so excited. Now, what I will do at the end of the video, when I cut this open in the kitchen, I will show you a quick little video of what it looks like. Friends, I am so excited about this cantaloupe. This is, I want to say this is the biggest one that I have ever grown. And this is the Athena F1 variety from Haas. And this is my first time growing them. And do you remember this little island of what I call cantaloupes? Do you see all of the little cantaloupes that are growing? Look at this one. And we got that one right there. And then we got this little beauty too. And I believe there's other little tiny ones that are growing also. I am very excited. I just found one right there too. Look at that. That is so beautiful. Now what I want to do is I want to harvest a couple of the cherry tomatoes because I want to make sure that I'm staying on top of picking them. So I am going to go ahead and pick some cherry tomatoes. When it comes to these tomatoes, I'm finally starting to get a lot that are blushing, but I'm not going to have enough time to share all of the tomatoes that I could harvest. But what I am going to do is we are going to harvest a couple together, and I might just come out here the next day or sometime before I put this video out and harvest a couple and just add it into the video. What I want to do quickly before I start harvesting a bunch of tomatoes, I wanted to show you how everything is doing. These are my slicers over here. You can see there's so many growing and I am so excited. What I do have to do though, you can see some of the tomato branches are falling over and I do need to clip them, which by the way, friends, I have to show you these new clips that I bought recently. I was so excited to share them with you. They're bigger than, let me show you. These clips are some of my favorites. And I found one bigger than that with a bigger wide opening for my thicker bamboo sticks. I'll show you later towards the end. I absolutely love them. And look, there's more tomatoes right here. And we got some right here. Just beautiful. I'm actually gonna take this one and bring it in the house. And we got some over there. Look at all of them. I am so excited. These are growing so good. And the aromas are doing really good. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and harvest as much as I can right now. Look, we got some there and there's some back there and we got more over there. I'm so excited to see these blushing, which by the way, this basil, the Tulsi Holy basil needs to be cut back again. It grows so fast. So you see all of these, they need to be clipped, which I will get to hopefully by tomorrow. Oh, and friends, I cannot wait to show you the cucumbers. We are getting so much. Okay, so far this is what I got. Now I will probably, as I said earlier, come out here and grab a couple of more before the next tour and I will add it into this video. Hey friends, I'm adding this in the garden tour because I had mentioned that I was gonna go back out there and get some more tomatoes, and I did. I got a lot of cherry tomatoes, and then there's quite a bit of aromas that are under there too that are hiding. So we're starting to finally get a lot of tomatoes because I did plant late this year, which is fine. We don't need a ton of tomatoes, but I'm very happy with what is starting to produce and what we'll be harvesting in the weeks to come. Here's another one. A lot of cherry tomatoes, but I'm excited for the plum tomatoes. And I also got a cucumber. I don't know how good this is going to taste, but we'll just have to check and see. But we have a lot of cucumbers back there. There's so much growing and I cannot wait to keep showing you guys everything that's growing back there. I do not want to forget the peppers. There's so many peppers that we need to harvest from this one and a couple from this bed. But before we do that, I just have to show you, look at how much the cucumbers have grown over this trellis. I am so happy to see this. Now, I want to point something out real quick. So this year, I ended up planting a lot of my starts in the garden later than I wanted to, and I'm really glad that I did, because here's what I'm noticing about the cucumbers is typically when I plant them when I want to in the spring before summer starts, I will get a lot of diseased leaves, and while I still get cucumbers, I don't like to see the diseased leaves or have to take them off. I would like to keep as many leaves on as possible, but what I'm noticing is that these plants are a lot healthier than when I start them earlier. So I'm getting kind of this idea that maybe I need to do 2 cucumber plantings, because I planted the cucumbers in the green stalks before the wood beds, and while I'm getting cucumbers for them, I noticed that the leaves are much more diseased than these. So I'm really actually happy that I ended up planting my stuff late, because now I know when I should be planting them, because these look a lot better this year. And look at how tall they've gotten too. I mean, they're just really big, and this trellis is pretty high. Like, I cannot touch the top with my hand. That's how high it is. So I'm really excited, but let me show you the cucumbers. Look at those. Look at how beautiful these are. There's a lot. So I'm gonna show them to you and then I'm gonna harvest a few. We got some cucumbers over here and we got some over here. I gotta get that one. We got 2 over here. I got that one over here that I need to get. It's been here for a little while. I'm gonna actually grab that right now. But look at that beauty. Love it. And then there's some over here. And then let's go to the other bed so I can show you some. Here's some more on the other side, the other wood bed. And they're just everywhere. This is the Corinth F1, and I believe this is the first time I'm growing Corinth F1. And so far, they're doing really good. I'm very, very impressed. Very impressed. Now, my pony entei that's growing right here, I don't see any cucumbers yet, but once these start to produce, they do so well. And then the ones over here that I'm going to be harvesting, that is the Piccolini F1. That is my other favorite variety, but I will say, I think Corinth F1 might be a third favorite of mine now. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest some cucumbers so that we can go and check the peppers. All right, I had to grab this one off of the black green stalk right here because it just got too big and I can't wait till the next tour, so I'm grabbing some from the green stalk too. I'm gonna grab this one too. Now let's take a look at these peppers and we'll go to the next bed in just a minute. It's a little easier to go on this side because of the way the land is going down that way. I can see it a lot better. So we do have some peppers to harvest and I'm so excited. There's a lot this year. I did a lot of sweet peppers. So we are going to be harvesting some beautiful bell peppers right now. I'm going to show you a couple of the peppers that are growing and then I'm going to also just quickly harvest these. And I believe this is the Marconi Red. First time I'm growing this and I'm really impressed with it. And then look at our first sun orange pepper. Very exciting. This one is one of the sweetest peppers that I've ever eaten. And we got a beautiful Jimmy Nardello in there, but it looks like it's not ready, so I'm going to leave that one. By the way, look at this huge red cayenne plant. It has grown so much. I already see a pepper right there and there's a lot of blooms. Look at, there's a Napoleon sweet. Look at how beautiful this is. Oh, look at you. You are so red, so pretty. I probably could have waited a little bit, but I don't want to. It's just so pretty. Oh, look at, we got a sweet chocolate pepper. I think this is ready to take. That's a beautiful color. It's almost like a maroonish color. And look at this beautiful pepper. This is the Violet Sparkle. I did a pepper variety video not too long ago and I had put the picture of this pepper in there and oh my goodness, it was so beautiful and I'm actually growing it, which is so exciting. So we have this one to harvest and I believe one more right there. Look at her, so pretty. This is a beautiful pepper. I think this is what I'm going to be growing every year because it is just so beautiful. And by the way, the Pippin's Golden is doing really good. I'm not going to harvest this one yet because I harvested one during the week to try out when I came to check the plants and it wasn't quite ready. But you know what I do want to show you? I just thought of this jalapeno plant is growing massive jalapenos. Let me show you. All right, look at this jalapeno right here. It's a really big size. This is the early jalapeno and I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this one and I think there's two. Actually, I'm gonna harvest the rest of those. I just realized that there's a ton of pepperoncini, so I am going to quickly harvest these. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this last pepper bed. But to give you an update on this mystery melon, I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's a pumpkin, watermelon, cantaloupe. I don't know what this is, friends. I didn't have anything like that growing in this bed that I can remember. I've had peppers in this bed. I want to say this is my second or third year putting peppers in this bed as well as that one. So I really don't know what's growing, but I do see something right there. I'm seeing some sort of a little, I don't know, melon. Hopefully it's a pumpkin. That would be really cool, but I don't know. I didn't have the heart to take this out because I'm very curious to see what it does, how big it gets, and what grows from it. But let's go ahead and harvest some peppers. The first ones I want to grab though are the Haas Yellow Monster. This is, when I tell you, not only a gorgeous pepper, it is incredibly sweet. I really like this, which I'm probably going to be growing this one every year too. And we have another one. I am just really impressed. I'm trying to keep everything separate. Jalapenos, pepperoncinis, all sweet peppers. I will say it's hard to get to the bed because I don't want to step on anything, but let's see if there's other ones to harvest. Oh my goodness, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Beautiful bell pepper. I am so glad that I came out here when I did because I think this one fell. This must be the Emerald Giant. And look at, there's more. I'm actually going to leave those and probably harvest them next week. Look at that big pepper. I think that one is the Napoleon Sweet. And by the way, this cherry tomato growing out of the ground is doing really good. It is quite wild. It's bending over. I need to pick that up, but I am getting some cherry tomatoes and it's growing really tall. I did put a bamboo stick in the bed though to support some of this. Oh, look at this one. It's so heavy. I'm gonna grab this one too. So because there's a lot of water on the leaves and I have the camera in my hand, I'm just going to go ahead and harvest as much as I can and then show you when I'm done. One thing I want to quickly mention before we see the final harvest, I did get a chance to plant my green beans in here. Now, I typically plant these, I want to say in May or the very beginning of June at least, but I'm planting these super late, which is fine because we can grow green beans for quite a long time in Zone 8B. But what I did was plant my this one's my favorite, Maxibel. All of these, this whole water grid. And then the Ferrari down there, which I think I like these just as much as the Maxibel. And the reason I like them is they're not stringy and they're thin green beans. And I really like that. Not that I care about stringy green beans, but I just prefer ones that are not. And then I finally planted some of the sunflowers. So I did the Velvet Queen sunflower, which is like this, almost looks like brown with some, I think some purples in it. And I also put one at the end over there by the post. And then this post, I put two of the chocolate cherry sunflowers. So one here and one on that side. And the reason I decided to plant them by the post is for support. Now you can see I have a sunflower growing here and then one over there. And those were actually volunteers as I have shared before. But I want to say, yeah, I did. I put an 8-foot bamboo stick to try to give this one support because it was growing in between the posts. So I'm hoping that when these germinate, I can use these posts for support. And I'm hoping that we could have some beautiful fall sunflowers growing next to them. And the other side of this bed has that vining plant growing out too. So I hope it's something. I hope we get a melon or pumpkin or something. Last two things I do want to quickly share because I don't want to forget. I have not been sharing too much about the grapes because the Japanese beetles they decimated this whole thing as far as the leaves are concerned. But I'm really glad that I ended up putting these bags over the grapes and they're starting to turn purple. I don't know if you can see. Look at how beautiful that is. I know it's getting really dark and it's kind of hard to see, but they're starting to turn purple. So I don't know, I'm hoping we'll have some grapes to harvest. And then I wanted to show you my sweet potatoes in the bag. So I had seen, I think it was last week, I saw that some of the leaves were bit. And then I came out here, it was yesterday or today, I can't remember now. And I saw all the leaves were completely eaten. I have no idea who's been eating the leaves. I do see some more that are growing, but I don't know if that's going to make a big difference when the sweet potatoes are growing in there. I've never had this happen where all the leaves were bitten off like this. I'm also growing them very close to the woods, which probably isn't the best idea, but I wanted to try them here. So I just wanted to give you updates on this because when it does come time to harvesting, I'm going to be very curious as to how these did. All right, let's go ahead now and see what we harvested today. This is very heavy, but we got ourselves a lot of tomatoes. I feel like it's taken a while for me to harvest some tomatoes because because, well, like I said earlier, I planted a lot of my starts late this year, which is fine. I'm sure I'll get enough tomatoes, but we did get ourselves a lot of Romas, and I want to say there's a slicer or two in there. And then we got ourselves some beautiful cherry tomatoes and jalapenos. And then friends, look at all the cucumbers. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. There's so many cucumbers growing on that trellis. I cannot wait to be harvesting more. And then I had to get 2 baskets to put the peppers in. So I put a lot of the bell peppers in here with the pepperoncinis because I can tell the difference. But look at how beautiful. Look at how beautiful these are. I am very happy. Now, I've shared before, but I grew a lot of, or I'm growing a lot of sweet peppers this year as opposed to hot peppers. The only hot peppers is the jalapenos and then the pepperoncinis. So I'm very happy, and there's more growing. And this right here gets me excited too. I mean, it all gets me excited, but look at all these peppers and look at this violet sparkle. Isn't she beautiful? I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Look at all of these. And the yellow one, so pretty. Let me show you this up close. Look at how pretty that purple is. Isn't that gorgeous? I am very happy, and I'm really impressed with how everything is growing in the beds. Now, there's not anything different that I did with the beds except for those the fertilizer pellets, which is pretty much just chicken poop that I put in there. But I had amended that soil, I want to say fall going into spring, and then I did add a little bit more before I put the peppers in. So maybe that's helping. I don't know. I know soil makes a big difference, and then obviously, you know, keeping up with things, watering, checking on stuff, but I don't know. I'm really impressed. I feel like the peppers are growing more this year than they did the previous year. So I'm looking forward to the harvest moving forward because I'm curious to see how many peppers I'm going to get this summer. And then lastly, this right here is a win for me. And I say that because I've grown cantaloupe before and they were delicious, not nearly as big as this though. So for me, this is a really big deal, especially for the size. I cannot wait to cut into this. Now, what I will do, as I said earlier when I harvested it, I will cut it in half and for sure put a little video after I'm showing you the harvest here so you can see the middle. And I'm gonna show that to you for sure. But I am really excited about this, friends. And there's more growing too, as I showed you. So I would say this is a huge win for my garden this year.
All right, friends, so here's the cantaloupe from the garden. This is the Athena F1 cantaloupe. And let's see what it looks like. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to try it to see how it tastes. Okay, all right, I'm gonna taste test this. Okay, this is not too sweet. So maybe I got it out a little too prematurely, but that's okay. We're gonna eat it anyways. All right, friends, well, I'm not too disappointed. It's not as sweet like I said, but we have some other cantaloupes growing out there, so we'll just have to see how they taste. I'd say for the size of it though is really nice. I mean, I could probably even juice this and put a little bit of sugar in there so that it's not a total waste. But overall, I'm very happy.
I almost forgot, and I don't want to forget. Look at this clip. Okay, look at how big it gets. That right there gets me so excited because the bamboo sticks that I have, the 8-footers, some of them are really thick, and the clips that I have, some of them fit, but sometimes they don't. And so I was looking for one, and I do like the metal clips as long as it's not too tight on the tomato vine. And this is just enough room where when I clip this on the bamboo stick, it leaves that little bit of space for the tomato stem. And so far it's working really good, but that's why I like it so much. And I had to show you guys. I will make sure that I have it in my Amazon storefront. Not sure if I can find it on the YouTube shopping. If I can, I'll definitely put that down below, but for sure I will have that in my Amazon storefront. But I had to show this to you, and yeah, I'm very excited about it. Things like that just make my life so much easier, and if I could share that with you all in hopes to help you and make your life easier, then I'm going to. But I'm just glad that I found it because I kept searching and searching and searching. I just kept getting the same clips that I've been buying and using, and I didn't want that size. I wanted something with a wider mouth, and so I'm just really glad that I found it. Well, friends, I'm so glad that you all stopped by, and I want you all to know how much I greatly appreciate every single one of you, and I want to give you a big thank you for your prayers, your comments, and encouragement. It means so much to me. And I also want you to remember this, friends. I want you to be encouraged, stay encouraged, and I want you to always stay inspired. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.